And lastly, for the practice problems for 7.3, we've got number 3. So this is, again, yours practice problems 13. Okay, we've got 4x squared minus 25 to the 3 halves. That half on the bottom is our square root, so that's going to tell us that this is a trig sub problem. So I'm going to sub for x. And when the x squared comes first in its subtraction, that's always a secant theta. My a squared in this case is the 25, so my a is 5. And then I want to be able to cancel the 4. So if I take the square root of 4 and put the 2 on the bottom, I'll be able to cancel out that 4. Okay, so my dx then is 5 halves secant theta tangent theta d theta. So when I go to sub in here, this is the integral of 1 over 4 times x squared. And x squared is going to be 25 over 4 secant squared theta minus 25 all to the 3 halves power. And my dx here is 5 halves secant theta tangent theta d theta. Okay, here's what I want to do. I want to bring this all the way out front. So I start by making this the integral of 5 halves. And actually, sorry, I'm moving that out front right there. Okay. Then my 4s, you can see, are going to cancel. And I'm going to bring the 25 factored out from secant squared theta minus 1. All of that is still to the 3 halves power. And I've got a secant theta tangent theta sitting over here. Okay, from this point, I'm going to take the secant squared theta minus 1, and I'm going to sub in using my identities to get 25 tangent squared theta to the 3 halves. And I still have secant theta tangent theta over here. Next, let's go ahead and take that 3 halves power. So I still have the 5 halves out front. 1 over. Take the square root of 25 is 5. 5 cubed is 125. Square root of tangent squared is tangent. To the 3rd would be tangent cubed. And I still have a secant theta and a tangent theta over here. From here, I can take a 5 out of both here and here. Right? Reduce those by 5. The tangent can also be reduced as well. So I can cancel a tangent that's top and bottom. That's going to leave me with, now that 25 is coming out. So I've got 1 over 50 integral of secant theta is left on the top and tangent squared theta left on the bottom. Okay, in this case, I'm going to go to sines and cosines. So this is 1 over 50 integral of 1 over cosine is the secant, and 1 over tangent squared is cotangent squared, and cotangent squared is cosine squared over sine squared. Then one of my cosines cancels. So I'm left with 1 over 50 integral of cosine theta over sine squared theta d theta. All right, from here, I want to think about this cosine theta as part of my d theta. So I want my u, or my du, to contain the cosine of theta d theta, which means my u has to be sine theta, right? We always sub for the trig function on the bottom. And just check and make sure that yes, because I did it the opposite direction, the derivative of sine is cosine. So I'm all set up here. So let's make our u sub. So this becomes 1 over 50 integral of 1 over u squared du. Antiderivative here is negative 1 over u plus a constant. Back sub, so this is 1 over 50 with a negative, and then 1 over u is 1 over sine, which we know is cosecant. So this is negative 1 over 50 cosecant theta plus a constant. Now I need to back sub for cosecant theta. So I've got to go all the way back to where I subbed in my initial trig function. So all the way back up here. If I take this and I multiply both sides by 2/5, that'll give me secant theta is 2x over 5. In order to get cosecant, I need to use my triangle. Secant is 1 over cosine. Cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse, so flip that over. This is hypotenuse over adjacent. So that means my hypotenuse is 2x and the adjacent side is 5. Use your Pythagorean theorem to get that this is the square root of 4x squared minus 25, exactly the square root we were working with to start. And then what I need is cosecant theta. And the cosecant of theta, cosecant is 1 over sine. Sine is opposite over hypotenuse. So I need the hypotenuse over the opposite side here. So the hypotenuse is 2x. Over the square root of 4x squared minus 25. And that's when I want to plug in for my cosecant at the bottom. So I'm going all the way back down here to give a final answer, which is negative 1 over 50, 2x over square root 4x squared minus 25 plus a constant. And that is my final answer. Okay, so again, just stick with it as you move through from piece to piece.